So this is sort of a kind of, it's a song about us as well, and about the values of what a lot of us feel, and I'm sure we feel the same way when we see this kind of thing. Anyway, it's called Pagan Ways.
Your TV screen is a window bright and clean. Another white spot. What does it all mean? Elder brother, you're never wrong. Sure, we people acting strong, so I look outside to see.
I think what we do now as bards is very similar to the bards of old, really. The ancient bards were the newspapers, they were the keepers of tradition, they were the storytellers, the poets, the musicians. You know, when people didn't know what was going on in a nearby village, this was a world without iPods, without newspapers, without all of these things. And the bards were the people who would travel between villages telling the news of what's going on in the outside world. And I think that most people have no idea about their mythology, have no idea about the ancient ways of this land. And so in the same way as, you know, it's not in our newspapers, we basically tell these stories without being evangelical, without looking for converts, you know, without trying to convert people into paganism, but just through edutainment, yeah, sort of like an education and entertainment, just to kind of let people know that our history didn't start, you know, then. It has its ancient roots then. And if you know your roots, you have a foundation, you know, that is strong, and you can look to the future a lot, you know, with a lot more hope, I think, you know. So much the same as what we did before, just you know, different instruments.
I know the secrets of the land and the sky, land and the sky. You'll hear my voice where the eagles fly. Merlin am I. Tower to the high king comes crashing to the ground. Druids know the answer. The sacrifice is found, but the child sees deep in. Two dragons are spreading their wings. Two tribes will fight for to claim this land. Many died for the folly of kings. Of the land and the sky.
I was caught by my maths teacher very often reading my friends' tarot cards at the back of class. I've been doing this since I was about 15. Always had an interest in the occult and in magic and that kind of thing. When I left school, I found my way into a ceremonial magic lodge. For years, I was working with the stuff from Aleister Crowley and all those kinds of things, which was great for a teenager, it was awesome, but then I found that some of the ceremonial magic work, one of the things that I couldn't get to grips with Christianity was the fact it felt so foreign to me. All these talks of, palm trees and camels and deserts and stuff, it just didn't, and then I'd come out and it was snowing, and I just didn't have that relationship with this religion. It felt like an overseas religion. And gradually, ceremonial magic started to feel similar with their work with Egyptian deities and things like that. And what I was really looking for was something, within the land, something earthy, something a little bit dirty, something, about the stones and the rocks, about nature and the trees. And that eventually led me to the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids. And that was it, really. I found within the Druid tradition a tradition within that valued the arts, that valued the poet and the storyteller and music. I've always been a musician, and to find that within a spiritual path was just amazing, and I really haven't looked back since. That's just what I am and what I do. We all are normal, regular people who just have extraordinary beliefs. All it is really is that we're so separate from the natural world these days that Druidry offers a way to just reconnect. It's very simple. It's not complicated. It's all about the heart and about connecting with nature. And there's nothing unusual or supernatural about that, really. It's just, we are animals, aren't we, at the end of the day? And we've just lost our place in the way that the natural world works. We've separated ourselves from it. Druidry allows us to reconnect. It's a natural thing, I think. Perfectly natural, nothing wacky. Not really. Might be seen wacky as some, but not,